I'm Bill Lovell. I'm the local publican, been here for 15 months. Loved the place after coaching footy and playing footy out here for about 10 years. I love Nanomite. It's just a fantastic place to live. The people are great. You've got a lake full of water, you've got a mountain and just a magnificent view. It's just a lovely part of the country.
I'm Stephen Knoll. I've owned the post office for 18 years. I bought the news agency out 10 years ago and I now run a combined business plus 2 mail runs. So I do a fairly important function in the town.
My name is Bridget Muir. I was the first Australian woman to climb Mount Everest. I have been living in this part of the world since the early 80s. I first came here as a tourist, rock climbing, ended up at Mount Arapiles, met a rock climber, got married, moved to Australia, and I've been living here ever since.
My name's Daryl Holden. I run the Fraser's Milk Bar in Natty Muck, and we've been here for over just on 2 years. We do takeaway food and all that sort of stuff, so very nice place.
My name's Simon Mentz and I'm co-owner of the Nanomite Cafe. I started the business with a friend, Steve Bell, who's originally from the UK, but moved out here for the rock climbing, similar to what I did 20 years ago.
The main street holds a lot of significance because there's also residential houses in the main street, where if you go into most towns, well, larger towns, there's no residences in the main street, so that's where everyone flocks to, and it's just a fantastic area to meet people and say hello.
Main Street is really the post office. That's always been the place where people go to meet other people. A few years back there was a survey. The post office wanted to know if we wanted the mail delivered to our houses or if we wanted to keep the letterboxes at the post office. And everybody said, no, we want to keep the letterboxes. You know, how else are you going to catch up with what's happening in town?
I see my role in this community to be one of service to the town. I'm holder of many, many keys for many, many buildings. The post office itself is very much a meeting place in the morning for all sorts of people. They catch up, keep the news going.
It's great having a few shops in town, that's for sure, because it means that if you forgot to buy the milk in Horsham, you can just go to the milk bar. A few businesses have disappeared. There used to be a garage, and it's a real shame that we don't have one anymore. But at the same time, you know, we've kept the post office, which is also a newsagent, and a bank, and we've got the pub, of course, which is a great place to meet people too. And now there's a cafe, which is fantastic, and a few tourist shops.
A few years ago there wasn't a cafe in town, and I was also concerned that a lot of shops in the main street were being turned into residences, so maybe the opportunity to get a good place to start a cafe would be gone. So when the opportunity came to buy this, I jumped at the chance.
Well, the pub features as being a meeting place for everyone to congregate. It's probably the biggest place that's open in town, and we're open quite a few hours during the day, so it's an ideal spot for people to meet. Mount Arapiles is probably one of the top 5 rock climbing places within the world. Easter time, there's close on 2,000 climbers get out to the mount, and it's just a sea of tents, and they're fantastic people. We get them from all over the world.
Living at Mount Arapiles was something which was very special. In the 80s, it was totally unregulated. You could just pitch your tent wherever you wanted. There were groups there from all over the world, really. There were people from New Zealand, from the States, and there were camps with names even. There was Camp Hog, there was a Kiwi camp. Also, you could go to the local tip and get lounges, beds, cupboards that made their way around the fire, and so it was a great way to live.
Mount Arapiles, from a climbing perspective, is a fantastic area for climbers of all abilities. There's not many areas in the world that have such good easy climbing, all the way through to very good hard climbing. So I think it's just natural that if you're into an activity, you want to live near it, and Nanomite is, you've got the mountain 10 kilometres away, and then only 20 kilometres in the other direction is a major town where it's easy to get employment. So it really offers a lot for new residents.
Means a lot to the town, the mountain. It brings a lot of people into the town. If we didn't have the mountain, I don't think we'd have the town that we've got now, because we've got a lot of mountain people in the town that stay here permanent, that climb nearly every day.
It's one of those draw cards that's always there, permanent, It's something that welcomes everyone back, especially as you approach town from the east. It's that thing that appears on the horizon that says, we're nearly home.
I started playing football for Nanomite about 14 years ago, and I'd already been living in Nanomite for 10 years as a climber, and I was recognised in town, but no one took a whole lot of interest in the terms of the locals. And soon as I started playing football, even though I was pretty hopeless, they were just glad to have new players. They suddenly took an interest, and suddenly you walk into that pub, everyone knows your name, and they start up conversations, and it just changes your involvement in a town immensely. And not just even in Nanomite, but throughout the district over the years, you just get to know a lot of people. So climbing is much more of an individual sport, and football basically transcends a wide range of people and social groups.
Nanomite's a very diverse community, very interesting community. It's got the traditional farmers, the commute workers, people here for the rock climbing, a vibrant arts community, and it offers all the normal sporting facilities any other little country town has. And so it's a very interesting place to live.
Every second year on Melbourne Cup weekend, there is an art festival in Nanomite, which is called the Natty Fringe. And this is a leftover from one of the fringes, and it's been there ever since, and I'm glad it is there.
But yeah, it's the diversity I like, and I think it's just a town full of climbers or full of arty types, without your locals who are, into their football and the fishing and farming and the other activities they do. I'd be bored living in any one-dimensional town, and Nanomite's very multi-dimensional. It's good.
I just love the people. It's everybody here. It's just a nice town. Everybody wants to help you. We do things for one another. It's got a community base. All the volunteer services around town are all here. All enjoy it.
There is a great sense of community in this little town. I think at the last count there were 56 volunteer organisations in a town of 500 people, which is not bad really.
I'd love to see the town just prosper and grow further, attract more business out here, which then enables people to have more employment. And I'd love to be employing 60 or 70 people within the pub. It'd be just fantastic local people.
It's the ideal distance to live away from your in-laws. They can visit, you can visit, but they don't need to stay.
Everybody's here. Everybody's here for you, and it's just fantastic.
Nanomite to me is the place I call home. So I'd quite like to live in other parts of the world purely for the experience, but it's great to have a place that I call home, and I can always see myself returning to Nanomite. That's the thing that means the most to me about it.